Hello, all. How are we doing? Hope you're all doing well. Hi, Ben. Cool beans. Hello, Gob. I am sorry about earlier. I have no idea what happened other than it messed up. Hey, carry me through. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's not even morning here. Here it is 7 p.m. Hi, Lincoln Gambora. Today's live, or this evening's live, is going to feature not one, but two different habitats or ecosystems, both of them having to do with saltwater or the ocean, or the in-between realms. Today we're going to be talking about seagrass meadows and salt marshes, because that live, we had issues. So hopefully we don't have those same issues today or this evening. So first off, I need to do this because I have not set up a poll. Sorry, I am setting up the poll. I'm doing good. So, there may be as many as 70 different species that make up seagrass. And they can be found off the coast of every single continent except for Australia, or except for Antarctica. Almost said Australia, and that would be wrong. One of these largest seagrass meadows covers a whopping 4,500 square kilometers, or 1,737 miles. We have at least 4. It's never exactly right. Never. For the most part. These meadows are not filled with some kind of algae. Just to let you know, seagrass is a legit grass, or a legit plant, I should say. It is in fact a plant. Seagrasses are plants. They have roots. They are pollinated. Oh, wait. I messed up. Not only do they have roots, but they also have flowers and seeds. Not going to be live tomorrow, but safe travels. They may be pollinated by amphipods, which are little shrimp-like creatures, tiny creatures. These meadows cover huge areas of the seafloor. Keep in mind that seagrass meadows are located within shallow portions of the ocean. They have to have light in order to produce food. Now, it is the leaves of these plants that exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen. Their roots help keep the sediment in place. Eelgrass, by the way, if you've ever heard of it, you have to be in lives, and you have to be in lives a lot. A lot. The last person I grabbed as a moderator had been a moderator for a year before I ever decided to pick them. So I don't make promises. These plants protect against coastal erosion during storms. Their roots actually help keep sediment in place, just like they would on a sand dune. The leaves of the seagrass actually slow the flow of water. The plants trap incoming particles and keep them from being washed out to sea. Storms do less damage to coral reefs or coastal lands because the seagrass, again, helps to absorb some of that energy from the waves. Hi, get Ganjid. But Gajin Eid. I will try. That's all I can say is I will try. No, because you won't be able to see my garden. By the time this is over, it'll be dark. There are many animals that either live in the seagrass meadows or are, in the very least, visit these areas. So animals that you can expect to find in a meadow might be small fish, invertebrates like clams? No, I can't. I don't do shutouts, and nope. Scallops, snails, sea urchins, and others live amongst the seagrass. Atlantic cod uses seagrass meadows as a nursery. 1 acre of seagrass meadow provides for more than 40,000 fish and a whopping 50 million invertebrates. I'm not going to go live tomorrow. Now, this is according to the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. Ireland, careful with putting out those words. Okay? Algae blooms can actually deprive the seagrasses. Yes, that word. Algae blooms can You're welcome. Algae blooms can deprive the seagrass of light. Shoreline development can damage seagrass habitats. To go a little bit further, every hour we lose about 2 football fields. I don't know if that's English football or European football, or if that's American football. Either way, we lose 2 football fields. No, that would, well, it said algae blooms, so I don't know, Sheldon, I don't know. So every hour we lose about 2 football fields every hour of seagrass meadows. To put it another way, we lose about 7% of our seagrass meadows a year. When a boat anchor is dragged through a meadow, it can ruin seagrass meadows. That is awesome. Congrats. Hello, Logan's Cool Reptiles. 2 animals that will feed. It ruins it. Why does it ruin it? The boat anchors? Yeah. Another thing is that dugongs, which are going to be featured in a video either this week or next week, feed on these seagrass meadows. Yeah, but red tide is a certain type of algae. So algae bloom and red tide, while interchangeable, I believe are 2 separate can be 2 separate blooms. No. So not all algae blooms in the ocean are a red tide. So red tides will literally turn the water red, but it can be brown or other colors. Not all blooms, though, are red tides. It is red tide is one type of harmful algae blooms. I'm going to post a link. You can check it out once the live is over with. What the heck? Maybe I'm not. Hi, predecessor. So this is from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and it talks about red tides. We're talking about seagrass meadows. If they're a little black, are they fake plants or real plants? Do not click on the link until the end of live. But that is a link that will tell you all about red tides. Yeah. I don't know. So, we're now going to switch gears and we're going to talk about salt marsh. You could have an algae issue. Blue-green algae, maybe? Yeah, that doesn't sound good. I can't tell you what's wrong because I would say contact your pet shop, a local pet shop. So, salt marshes are very different from other marshes. They are dependent upon the ocean and the tides to bring salt water into the marsh. Now, they may be, oftentimes there's a lot of mud, a layer of deep mud, and even peat in a salt marsh. It could be an algae smell. I would definitely, if you are, my day's been good. If you visit a salt marsh, you may smell rotten eggs. That is caused by bacterial growth in your water. Or in the water, in the marsh. Salt marshes occur just like our seagrass meadows. They grow everywhere around the world. They're a common estuary habitat. And in the United States, they can be found on every single coast. These habitats are important fisheries. They're important for coastlines and communities as well. They provide a place for animals to get food. 9. There's at least 9 people and 10 likes. They provide a place for these animals to find refuge and a nursery habitat for fish, shrimp, and even crabs. Blue crabs. They also protect shorelines from erosion. They help reduce flooding by absorbing rainwater. They also will take in and filter runoff water and help to metabolize whatever excess nutrients might come through that runoff. Salt marshes, if you live in the United States, especially if you live in places or in other places as well, we tend to get storm surges with our hurricanes. So a salt marsh will actually absorb that storm surge. Okay. Since the early 20th century, our coastal wetlands have seen a loss from construction, development, and habitat loss. I have talked about prehistoric life. Between 2004 and 2009, we have lost over 80,000 acres per year between 2004 and 2009. They also hold on to carbon, which, if they didn't hold on to it, would be released into the atmosphere and add to global warming and climate change. Salt marshes also trap pollutants, which would otherwise be allowed to enter the ocean. Animals that live in a salt marsh must be able to withstand changes in water level and saltiness. The plants have to be adapted so that they're salt tolerant in order to survive. Plants you might find in a salt marsh within the United States include saltgrass, salt marsh bulrush, saltwort, woody glasswort, and something called beech tea, which I'm not familiar with. Both of these are pretty unique habitats in my book, but they may have salt marshes related to them, but the Everglades itself is not a salt marsh. In some place, yeah, but it's not the Everglades itself. The Everglades itself is not a salt marsh. However, there might be salt marshes associated with the Everglades. Because there are also mangroves associated with the Everglades on the outskirts of the park. But in and of itself, the Everglades is just a freshwater marsh. Ugh. Let's see. Animal-wise, you're going to find things like fiddler crabs, hermit crabs, stone crabs, tons of crabs, snails, mussels, clams, worms, fish, other life. You're also going to find ducks, geese, wading birds, and depending upon where you live, there could be other animals in the mix. Yes, salt marsh snakes. Please do not spam my channel. I do not. I do not have Carnotosaurus. Don't have them. Depending on where you live, you might also have periwinkle, otters, minnows, herring gulls, and even, if you're in the right place in the United States, diamondback terrapins. So in the UK, they have salt marsh too. Although, how about this? How about I report you first? We're going to report you for misinformation, and then I'm going to write down your name. Because, nope, I'm not playing it. I mean, I could have got you for impersonation. This is your warning, and you're being hidden. I don't know who he is. I like bonobos. They're not monkeys, though. They're apes. Oh, it's always... It's somebody trying to scam or spam the channel. My guess... I don't know about very smart, but I try. I have only seen sea turtles in aquariums. I love dinosaurs. So, in the UK, about 85% of their salt marshes have been lost since 1860. My favorite dinosaur, Pachycephalosaurus. Places you might find them in the UK include within the, I hope I pronounced this right, the Thames estuary. I believe that dinosaurs existed, yes. The Humber estuary. And the Severn estuary. Salt marshes are threatened by rising sea levels. And what's bad about that is If there's existing development between land and the salt marsh plants cannot move inland, and so what happens is they just get flooded. Because he does. Sheldon knows because he likes listening to me as well. So, that is all I have for today. I'm not done. Live is not done. But now live is open to chat. So so how is everybody doing? We have some really cool videos coming up. So I'm looking forward to those. We'll actually be doing an animal that actually feeds on the seagrass. So that's exciting. We're going to be talking about an edible plant. That's also super exciting. It's in video, not YouTube. I don't know what else we're going to be doing in the next little bit. I could tell you guys. I could tell you guys, but I feel like telling you would just be it'd be baiting you guys, basically. But maybe I should. Nothing happened. The next live? No, I will not. I don't go live on Wednesdays. Tomorrow's video is paddlefish, I believe. Hakote will be Friday. Tamarillo on Saturday. Sunday, we are talking about one of Sheldon's suggested topics. These are what I'm doing right now are videos. So though I always post at midnight Central Standard Time. That's what time I post my actual videos. They go live at midnight of the next day. By Jung Ho. And we're going to be looking at woolly mammoths versus African elephants. Convergent evolution. Not really convergent evolution, but yeah. We're going to be talking about carnivorous plants, thanks to Chelsea B. The dugong, Scottish wildcat, wintergreen, stellar sea lion, Virginia spiderwort, and the animal kingdom as a group. So that's what's coming up. And then the following week, we're going to be doing mammals as a group, Venus flytrap, carpenter ants, European starlings as an invasive species, coral reef as a habitat, environmental changes, edible invasive species, bite force, African, I don't know if I'm going to do this one or not. African lion versus leopard bite force, don't know if that's going to happen. Most aggressive sharks. So yeah, those are the videos that are coming up. You guys can talk about dinosaurs. I'm not going to stop you. And then what was I going to do? Oh yeah. Pachycephalosaurus. Friday, we're doing rare fanged and front fanged snakes at 1 p.m. And then May 30th, we're at 7 p.m. We're also going to do constrictors, pythons, and boas. We're probably going to end up doing both, just because probably not going to fill the whole time slot. The 31st, we're going to do the Indianapolis Zoo to do. We are not going to do a zoo trek. I'm not going to do those. We will probably do another zoo. I don't know what that zoo is going to be. And then I will announce next week's lives on Saturday. So that is where we are at. Yeah, I don't know. So 56% of you said that you have seen sea turtles. Man, compared with Saturday's live, this live is easy. It's the only, well, I can't say it's the only place I've seen sea turtles because it's not. But because if I remember right, the Minnesota Zoo has sea turtles, and so does the aquarium at the Mall of America. I guess it counts. I never said where you had to see them. My favorite live? You mean my lives? Then you mean my lives? I have no idea. Anybody know how many lives I've done? Because honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea how many lives I've done. 391 lives. So you could watch a live one you could watch one live every day of the year and still have lives left to watch. Am I popular though? I don't think they have teeth. They don't have teeth, Sheldon. No, they don't have teeth. They have a very sharp, almost like a beak that they use. It's almost like little pins. But are they actually teeth in the sense that they're not teeth, but they do have them? I don't know what the actual. Yeah, it's not a real tooth, but they do have something that. No, There is something there. Yeah, it's called here. That's what it's called. And they're like little spikes that secure the jellyfish. I believe they're found in leatherback sea turtles. Leatherbacks, loggerheads, and green sea turtles have them. One person called them anti-barfing spikes. Basically, they're designed to keep the jellyfish from getting out of the mouth. I posted it, Sheldon. Actually, Carrie, they have these. Let's see if... No. More like daggers. I mean, they do have sort of a serrated beak, but this is not the beak itself. See if tell me about it. I'm going to do snakes Friday. I don't know if it's going to show it. Here, I will show you. I'm going to post this, even though I'm technically not. This is just... They're not really teeth. Gosh darn it. That's what they're called? And this is for the picture that I'm about to show you. Sheldon, the post that I just did up above is the actual term for it. This, right, it's not. So the link that I gave is for this. That is, whoa, that's what it looks like. And they point backwards, apparently. And it basically just keeps the jellyfish like everybody said, so they don't escape. They're really freaky looking. I have to provide a link to the I have to provide a link to the picture, so that's what I posted on top of the name. Yes, it is. Always, always, Weird and Wild is right. Just when you think you know. Always more to learn. It makes my job as a nature um YouTuber extremely hard. I've been it's been good. I would say okay, Logan's Cool Reptiles. Have a good one, man. I've been good. I can't life has been except for one incident, life's been good. Yeah, the pictures are really freaky looking. I have to be careful. I'm sorry to hear that, Ben. Scary is more like it. I tell you that the out of everything that I've ever seen, the thing that the one animal that just gives me the chills more than any other animal, and it doesn't really deserve it necessarily, but a short finned mako shark just gives me the chills like you wouldn't believe. I guess it's the face. It's hard, Ben. Sometimes life is hard. I'm sorry about your dad. Tuna sharks. The other shark that sort of doesn't really scare me, but a sand tiger. Now, that's a face. Those teeth that they have. Some days are going to be really smooth and other days are going to be stinky. I had nuggies. I think I had nuggets. I think I'm going to have some more chicken casserole. Wonder if I can see. Only 14 views. Well, it's either that or that's true. I've seen stuff. I was just thinking that too, carrying me through. I have seen stuff that will make you cringe. I saw a guy who took a king cobra bite to what would appear to be a very sensitive part of the body. For guys, anyway. Oh, that's gotta be cute. A deer sucking your ear. Yeah. Yep. Yes, Ben, it was real. I paused the video and zoomed in, and there it was. You could even see where the venom was leaked. No, I'm not. It was in a video. Oh, you mean Sheldon? She just had her bottle, huh? That means in 2 hours you'll be doing it again. I don't miss those days worth anything. My brother took in some baby robins. The nest came down in his yard after a really bad windstorm. And he took care of them. I don't know. I don't know whatever happened to those robins. But they were flying in the garage. And you could call them. You would whistle. And they would come to be fed. A bad story. exactly how. Okay, I think I get what happens. I don't know. Ben, we don't want to hear about the poor thing being hurt. It's already gone. You don't have to delete it. You're okay, Ben. Just yeah. That's you're fine. That story may have been a little more than there may have been stuff in that story that just wasn't. Yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It sounded like it was going somewhere that might be borderline animal cruelty, maybe. And we don't. So We just have to be careful. Yep, which is why we're not going to go there. Anyway, guys, I am going to sign off so I can eat. Boys, hi, that's a different screen name. But since you're here, I'll stay on for a little bit longer. I guess I'm staying on for a little bit longer since we just had somebody else come in. Hi, the boy, or boy the. Bye, Ben. Well, guess I'm gonna go. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. See you Friday. Bye-bye.